Hello, welcome back. Happy New Year. It's January 1st, 2021. Good riddance 2020. If you don't know who we are, my name is Adine. This is my beautiful wife, Melinda. Together we are Hustlin' Hooks. We have merchandise. My sister made these for New Year's for us as gifts. Even little Jessie has one.
Yeah.
Not much has changed so far in 2021. Our dog is still snoring in the background, but we wanted to conclude our three-part series. So let's get right into it.
The first thing we're covering in this video is communication, and that covers a lot of different aspects. For one, it's communication with people that you're buying from, because we have found a lot of product just talking to people as we're picking things up. They're clearing out a house. They're gonna do a garage sale that weekend. Somebody died and they're clearing out the estate.
Yep.
And we just asked them, well, if there's anything else that you're looking to sell, we'd love to go through it. And we've had a lot of opportunities to pick privately just by talking to people and from picking stuff up.
Yeah, if you're buying, like, for example, if someone just listed some video games you're interested in, you can always ask them, like, hey, are you selling any other older electronics like cameras or VCRs? And maybe they are, but maybe they're not. And it doesn't cost you any more time or effort really to ask them if you're going to go pick it up anyways. For example, I bought a boombox and I had to drive, I think, a 30-minute round trip roughly for it. And they had a lot of other stuff. And so I looked at the boombox. I also asked them before I got there, hey, are you selling any other electronics? Scored two PlayStation 1s, Game Boy Color, a bunch of games, and a giant collection of Pyrex. And I told them they were resellers, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. And so they knew that when we're negotiating these prices, there has to be meat on the bone in order for us to make a profit. And we ended up scoring a great deal. That hoarder house example.
That's what I was going to bring up. There was very early on in our reselling career, I went to go pick up a typewriter that I got off Facebook Marketplace. And while she was selling it to me, handing it off, she said that a relative had passed and they're just trying to clear this estate. It was like a hoarder situation. So I was like, well, if you want us to help you out and go through the house for you and pick stuff out, and she
Right.
jumped on it.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
loved
they
it.
were, yeah, they had already thrown out 5, 6 huge dumpsters full of stuff, and they had to be out fairly quickly
Yeah.
at that point. So basically any money that they were going to get was like free for them.
Exactly. They didn't, I mean, it wasn't even their stuff. They just wanted to get rid of it. And we ended up paying $170 and we sold one item for $475. And
Yeah.
I think we've sold way past $4,000 off of that one
And
$170 investment.
That's right, and we haven't even touched the Pokemon card sets.
Yeah, the really
oh no, we
rare
sold
ones.
a couple, I guess.
We
But
sold-
there's a few.
yeah.
We have like a couple thousand worth of Pokemon cards yet that we have to get to.
We sold a couple $100, maybe closer to like $1,200 just in Pokemon cards from that collection or for that hoarder. So anyways, just tell people what you do. Also, you can go on other social media platforms like Facebook, OfferUp, Nextdoor app. Even if you're involved in your local mosque or church or synagogue or wherever, you can just post on a bulletin board in your college or wherever you are in the world and say, this is what I do. If you're getting rid of your old shoes, old jeans, old electronics, let me know first. I resell and go from there.
And then another way that plays in, it goes without saying, is communication with your buyers. So we have had in the past people buy one thing from us, and we have very similar things in the store, and we just reach out and say, and let them know, we also have these other items for sale. Are you interested in any more, so that we can combine shipping for you?
Right.
And it doesn't always happen. Sometimes they just want what they've purchased, but other times they've said, sure, yeah, let me take a look at your store, or tell me what else you have.
Right.
And that's true even for unprocessed things.
Right,
We
yeah.
recently sold some video game consoles for parts.
Yeah.
To somebody, and we hadn't even listed them on eBay yet.
Yeah, we made a great deal. It was the person bought one console. We had two other consoles from a different brand, and we just let them know that we have them. After I looked at their profile on eBay and I saw that they bought old consoles, refurbished them, updated them, made them modern, and sold them for profit. And I was like, look, I don't want to mess with this stuff. I might as well. And a $35 sale ended up a $75 sale, and the shipping was about the same. The other time, I don't know if you remember those pie crusts. They weren't very like
Yeah.
those pie
Hmm.
dishes.
With recipes on
Hmm.
them, just
Yeah.
like very cute, sort of gifty type of pie dishes,
Yeah,
essentially.
we paid nothing for them. I think they were listed for like 15 or 20 bucks free shipping, so we're gonna make a $10 profit. And instead of making a $10 profit, we made a like a 17 or $18 profit because we combined two of them and sold two things that were
Right.
slower moving, and they were really happy with that. So I mean, obviously it's not a killing, but if you do that a few times, you're gonna make more money. So communicate. It's there's a reason why people have degrees in communications. It's definitely a key attribute to success in many businesses, including reselling.
And then, of course, if you have any
Hmm.
coworkers or anyone you're working with on your business, it goes without saying communication is key
Yeah.
for moving your business forward with that.
Just tell them what you do. You're eating a lunch with them or whatever. You know, how was your weekend? Oh, it's pretty good. I got into eBay. I sold this. Oh, you resell? I have an aunt that next thing you know, you're buying things that no one else has access to and you're flipping it. Recently bought, I think I paid like 90 bucks to a coworker for a printer, a bunch of shoes, a camera. And the printer sold for 280 shipped. Two pairs of shoes already sold for a total of like 90 shipped. And there's still more inventory to be listed. So again, why not just tell people what you do? What are they going to do? Wow, that person likes to make extra money. Like, what are they going to say?
And I also meant like it, like you and I have to communicate because we work together.
Oh,
So there's lots of different ways to communicate.
perfect.
I wasn't clear in my communication. You didn't know what I meant.
Hilarious. Perfect. So yeah, communicate with each other, I think is what Melinda said. If you have
That's
somebody
right.
you're working with,
Yeah, but that makes sense what you said too. So
it makes sense what you said.
okay.
Awesome. So I think we are good on communication, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's jump into the next one, which is consistency. This is a big one, especially being January 1st of a new year. Consistency. Most people, you know who you are going to make it through maybe February, and then you're going to go back to your old habits. Consistency is key.
I don't know if I can build on that other than maybe make a calendar or find a way to make that work for you.
Hmm.
Set alarms on your phone maybe. But that's true for listing, it's true for sourcing, it's true for keeping your records up to date.
Right.
All of those things need to be consistently done in
Yes.
order for you to know what you're making and to keep your store moving.
The push-up example is great, right? If you're able to do 10 push-ups today, if you continuously do 10 push-ups a day, eventually you're going to do 15 push-ups really comfortably, and then eventually you'll do 20. But you know, and I know from personal experience, if I stop doing my push-ups, I can't do 10 in a row or 15 or 20 in a row, right? Then I lose my muscle. Just like reselling. So we often get questions of like, how often are you sourcing? How often are you listing?
Hmm.
And our answer is like as often as we can as part-timers because we take this very seriously and we really are consistent and our sales prove it. We've been selling at least 8 things a day on average for like 7 months. That's consistency.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it daily. You can batch things as long as you have a schedule to it. Maybe you only source 2 or 3 times a week, but you're sourcing a
Mhm.
lot. Like maybe you have a full day of sourcing
Right.
every Tuesday and every Thursday. And then you have a full day of processing Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hmm.
So it doesn't have to look the same. It doesn't have to be a daily consistency, but it does have to be a consistent, scheduled task that you're doing.
And a lot of times people have the misconception of like, well, I have to, if you don't list daily, then you're not going to make sales. That's not true. We stopped listing for 5 days and still sold $1,000 this past weekend. It's the quality of your items that are in demand, that are accurately priced with free shipping. That calculation, that's what's going to drive your sales. It's not that you have to do it daily. If you just list daily just to list, you're going to end up with a bunch of garbage. And we've talked about that in previous videos. And speaking of previous videos, if this is your first time watching us, thank you for giving us an opportunity to be on your screen. If you want to check out the first and second part of this series, I'm going to link those below in the description so you can easily click that link and get to it. This is, these 9 fundamental subjects that we're covering, I think, are going to bring you a lot of success in this year and many years after if you listen and take action.
And then the last thing that we wanted to talk about was support systems. Some of us are very lucky to have very strong support systems.
Ah,
That's right. So we have each other who are working on this business together.
and life together.
That's right. Lots of things that we're working on together. We also have great families that support us. And well, some of them are actually a little bit doubtful at first on how successful this was going to be.
Right.
They're on board now and they encourage us and they support us. But if you're not in the same position, if you don't have a spouse or a partner that you're working on it with, and maybe you don't have a supportive family, it can be tougher. We all know it's easier to do things when you have someone doing them with you or when you have backing for it, right? If somebody starts working out with you January 1st, you're more likely to continue a workout routine when somebody is holding you accountable and helping you and encouraging you along that path. If you're not getting that from your family or your significant other, then there are other options for you to find that. One is Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a big reseller community on Instagram. Reach out. More than not, we have found that people are very open and willing to help.
Yeah, even the big accounts, like I remember messaging like Reezy Resells. If you guys don't know who that is, you just look him up. He's a fantastic resource. The guy had like 65,000 followers at the time. I asked him an Amazon question. Took him less than 15 minutes, answered my question like 3 paragraphs, like truly answered it. Rally Root's another great example. Asked him a question, explained, answered it like almost instantly. There are others that don't, which is perfectly fine, and they may just ignore you or whatever because they don't know you.
Or they might not have time.
Or they might not have
Some
time.
people just have really big accounts, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's one thing to realize too. If you're reaching out to some like a bigger account on Instagram, give them some time because they're doing a lot, and we're relatively small between Instagram. Like Instagram, we have like 5,000 followers, 8,000 subs on here.
Yeah.
We try to answer every single message, but there are days where like there's 19 waiting, and it's like, okay, we need to get to bed. So give people some time. But I think we've answered every single question ever, even the ones that are like, hey, I'm single, are you single? Usually Melinda, I have Melinda answer those and just have fun with it, but we literally answer like every single message. So get on Instagram, communicate, and just find people you can get along with, and more often than not, you're gonna find a support system.
Right, and it's going to make things easier, not just to motivate you, but it's also a good thing to have people to bounce ideas off of. It's good to have different sources of information as well, people who are pros in other areas that you are not.
Right.
And that's very helpful because it can help you expand and grow your business knowledge.
Yeah. One thing that I'll say about like communities in general, like for us, it's all about positivity. Like we're not complainers. Like if you ever see us frustrated, it's just because we're frustrated for a small, insignificant piece of time. I personally don't like a lot of the Facebook groups that are reseller communities because there tends to be a lot of negativity there. So you just kind of have to feel out any room that you're in. But even in those Facebook groups that are relatively large, you can still find a solid community of people that are willing to help you. You just have to ignore the people that are just negative in general.
But I will roll off of that, and I will say, if you're in your own business, you don't have any coworkers, then that can be kind of a lonely wake up Monday through Friday type of space. So even if you have another reseller that you find in your local community with that you can have lunch with once a week, or you go binge shopping together once a week or something like that, sometimes venting actually can be very healthy, I think.
Yeah,
because
I agree with that.
Any job that I've ever had, even if you love your job, sometimes you just have to vent about being overworked, or you're in a specific spot in your life where it just helps get that off your chest.
Just being a human.
Right, exactly. And that can be an outlet. And to have that with somebody else who kind of understands the same business and the same struggles and the same reality of it, that can help a lot.
Right. And look, maybe you're the type that's just a lone wolf and you're good. Like you don't need to talk to anyone. You get it. You know how to figure it out. You're a self-starter, self-motivator. Hats off to you. And maybe you just don't care. That's perfectly fine too. But we're really reaching out to those people that, get to that point where it's like it's 9 o'clock at night, they're tired, they know they have to get a little bit of done, but they don't want to, don't feel like it. Instagram can be a really good place where you can just kind of be like, hey, I just need to talk to someone to just kind of get me going just for a little bit so I can get that jolt of energy and get listing, you know?
Yeah, so support and motivation looks different. It can be a combination or a different array of anything really. I guess whatever's going to help you, but we do strongly suggest building some type of support that will help you.
For sure. So that's going to do it for this one. That's our final 3 of this series. We just wanted to put these together because for a couple of reasons. We want to bring some value and kind of explain the reality of doing this and these types of numbers, these types of sales and what it actually takes. But we also wanted to not really make those videos of like, here are 5 tips to increase your sales. Because a lot of that stuff, a lot of it works, but at the same time, there are a lot of people giving a lot of advice on the internet, and that can be a little bit confusing and unhealthy. If you did find this valuable or enjoyable, or maybe we just brought a smile to you, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It does help our channel, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to, as we're going to be putting out valuable content pretty regularly. We aim about 2 videos a week.
Yeah, we try to. We try to be consistent with that.
We communicate consistently and support each other.
Ooh,
That's the
I
best
like
way
that.
to wrap this video up.
Also, if there's anything else that you find is helpful, put those in the comments below for other people who are watching and reading them as well. So share your advice, share your tips. What do you think is important when you're getting started in reselling?
For sure. Thank you guys so much. As always, we appreciate you spending any time with us. We appreciate your support. We are on Instagram at Hustle and Hooks. If you guys want to chat with us there, we are constantly in communication consistently. I'll stop now. See you later. Thanks.
Have a good night.